I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Rockland Fire Protection District Board of Trustees regular meeting for Monday, June 14th, 2020 to order at, let's say 6:05 p.m. So in attendance we have myself, Trustee Malinowski, Trustee Bernstein, Attorney Jim Wargo, Treasurer Carl Snoblin, Battalion Chief Pinar, and Deputy Chief Picasso. And also in the general audience we have Joan Barrett. So before we get started, Chris, since you're not actually here, I'd like to go ahead. I got to make a motion or just vote them in? Jim?
Yeah, you guys have to make a motion to allow them to attend by electronic means.
So I'd like to. You need one?
Yeah.
Oh, you need one. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to allow Trustee Johnson to attend the Rockland Fire Protection District Board of Trustees meeting via telephone. So go ahead and do a roll call vote or just voice vote, Jim? Roll call vote, so Trustee Malinowski, aye. Trustee Bernstein? Aye. And Chris can't vote, I guess. Is that correct? Or can he vote to allow himself to attend?
No, yeah, just you two.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And he does vote yes.
Gotta count for something.
All right. So with that real quick detour out of the way, I'd like to ask for everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Agenda item 3, reorganization of the board, election of officers. So this is just, how often do we do this, Carl?
It's every year, right, Jim?
Certainly, yeah. Certainly with the re-election.
Trustee Johnson.
Yeah. So we just say it's just a formality. If you guys want to keep it the same way, you can make the motion that way, or
any volunteers for president or secretary?
So I would say that given my position as a fireman, being that I'm gone every third month on shift, I think I would not be fit for a president role because I couldn't make every meeting in attendance, given my schedule.
You want to nominate Chris as secretary? All right. Okay. So do I got Chris? You want me secretary?
If you'd like me to.
No, I think we're good, Chris. So I need a motion to keep the board as it stands.
yeah, the motion would be nominate and elect Marcin Malinowski.
Oh, so we have to do each role. Okay.
No, we could do it as a slate.
As a
Marcin,
slate?
Yeah,
Okay.
Marcin Malinowski as president, Amy Bernstein as secretary.
Okay.
Make a motion to keep Marcin as president and Amy as secretary.
And
Carl as treasurer.
And Carl's treasurer.
Carl's treasurer and Chris is trustee.
Correct.
All right. So Chris made the motion. I'll go ahead and second it. Roll call vote. Trustee Bernstein.
Aye.
Trustee Malinowski. Aye. Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
All right. Carl doesn't vote.
Member of the board.
Okay. Yeah, go.
Right ahead.
Yep.
Nice talking to you.
See you later, Carl. All right. Agenda item 4, public hearing. Public hearing on the ordinance adopting the budget and appropriations of the Rockland Fire Protection District, Lake County, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, and ending April 30th, 2022. I'd like to open the hearing at 6:10 p.m.
And I would just like to announce that I did publish this in the New Sun.
Publish the
Notice.
notice of the public hearing.
Yes.
Not the ordinance itself.
Correct. The notice of the public hearing. I was going to I thought I'd grab a copy of it, but it was more than 30 days ago. I believe it was May 12th.
Friday following the meeting.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
right.
So that
made it available, the preliminary budget was made available for at least 30 days prior to this.
I'd like to open it up for public comment. Any comment from public? Anything via email, by chance? No? Okay. Anything else, Jim? Or just close it?
No, you can, what time did you start at? Because I've got 6:08, you said 6:10.
Sorry, so my watch might be a little fast.
Okay, so it was probably like 6:06 when you started.
6:07.
So 6:07.
6:07.
Okay, so motion to close at 6:08.
We get a second and go for that.
Yeah, I like to do a motion just.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on the ordinance adopting the budget and appropriations of Rockland Fire Protection District, Lake County, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021 and ending April 30th, 2022
At 6:09.
at 6:09. Can I get a second? Second. Trustee Bernstein, second. Roll call vote. Trustee Bernstein?
Yes.
Trustee Malinowski? Yes. Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Going on to agenda item 5, discussion action on said ordinance. Am I going to repeat that? Do I got to repeat that, Jim?
When you do the motion, though.
Okay, yes. Any comments, questions, concerns otherwise regarding the ordinance? Amy? Carl, anything else you want to add?
Nope, I think it's, follows the tentative pretty much exactly. We'll have a chance to look at it.
Chris, anything regarding the budget and appropriations ordinance?
No.
Okay. Okay. So I would like to make a motion to approve the ordinance adopting the budget and appropriations of the Rockland Fire Protection District, Lake County, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, and ending April 30th, 2022.
Second.
And roll call vote. Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Bernstein?
Yes.
Trustee Malinowski, yes. Moving on to 6, consideration of minutes of the regular meeting of the Rockland Fire Protection District, Monday, May 10th, 2021. Chris, you got a chance to review the minutes from last meeting?
I did, everything looked good from what I can tell.
Amy, any corrections or anything? We look good. Let's see here. Anyone want to make a motion? I'm making a whole lot of motions here.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. We don't want to say as read, but make a motion to approve the minutes for last month's meeting.
Second.
All right, and we'll do just a voice vote on this one, so all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody oppose? Moving right along. Chief's report. So Deputy Chief Picasso, I expect you to pick up for Pinar too.
Yeah. I like our colors a little bit better. They're a little bit more inviting. So for the month of May, we had 5 rescue calls, 1 service call, and nothing too outstanding. There was one call, if you notice on the times, that the total response time was a little bit higher than normal, but that was a multiple call situation, and everybody was at Station 1 for EMSC that particular day. So of course, when everyone's at 1, it always happens. So, but for the most part, the average is about just under 5 minutes. You can see the average on the bottom of the first page. The average for the year is about 4 minutes, 55 seconds. However, it's those unusual, very rare 8-minute response times that jumps or brings that number up. So typically we're between 3 and 4 minutes, which we pride ourselves on. So.
I know obviously you can't foresee instances like that, but anything to kind of, any discussion on how to maybe get that?
Yeah, we've changed our response where we try more than ever to keep a crew on Station 3 at all times, whether with training, if for some reason it's a company training, Station 3's company needs to come to Station 1 or Station 2 or anywhere, then we'll bring a company to Station 3 to man that station, just to eliminate this from happening.
No, it's on the radar.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
As far as news for the department, we got some good news on Friday. We got the small equipment grant for some Hurst tools, which is pretty exciting, the battery-operated Hurst tools. So those will be housed on a new engine, which we should be taking possession later on this year. It's going to replace our acquaintance at Station 3 right now. We've completed the hiring process, so we're here in the next month or so, we'll be at full staff. We haven't been at full staff for a while, just due to injury and retirements. We had a ton of retirements last year. So, and we're really excited because we hired our second female, and she's actually the police chief's daughter, so it's pretty exciting. Yeah, and she's solid. Both of our female firefighters are just rock solid, so we're really excited to have her on board as well. And then we're testing again, so July 12th, we're testing for firefighter. We're running our entry-level test on July 12th. It's been blasted on social media, on Firewire. However, the applications are slim. I don't know if everyone's waiting the last minute. Applications are due next Monday, so I'm hoping to get a bunch. Because we only have maybe a half dozen that have submitted their applications. So looking forward to establish new lists because we exhausted our list pretty quick, and I think that's pretty much what's happening around the area. It's hard to find qualified applicants these days for whatever reason, but maybe it's just because our standards are pretty high. So, but we're getting great candidates, and for the most part, it's been working out. So that's about it for the Real Fire.
Good. Well, if BC Canard comes back, we'll circle back to him. Just looking at the report. All right. So yeah, so if BC Canard comes back, we'll go ahead and circle back to him and his report. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and move along to public comment. The district trustees allocate time for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the fire district trustees on any matter not listed on the agenda. Each person addressing the trustees is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. Does anyone like to take a minute public comment? Got anything to say, Joni?
Silence is golden.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So moving along from public comment, attorney's report.
So we approved the budget tonight, so we will keep that, we'll have to file that with the county, and we'll also have to publish it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I recall, that was getting up around $500.
Yeah, it's really and it's an unfortunate expense. But, you know, they've tried to change some of this stuff over the years, but the newspaper industry is pretty powerful. And they keep trying, but I will work with Carl to get that published. Also, you probably already know the governor extended the disaster declaration through June 26th. So they finished up the legislative session Memorial Day, and there was some legislation. You know, a lot of this stuff does not necessarily affect districts since we're a paper district. But I'm trying to think of, well, one of the things that could affect us there was, now the governor hasn't signed these yet, but there's a new ethics act that was approved. And it's a rather large statute that applies to not only local governments but the state. And one of the key changes is that we get changed to the state with some economic interests. So, and I don't know the exact changes, but it's going to broaden the scope of it. It's going to include perhaps your spouse and your now that may not be a big deal for a lot of people, but some people it may keep your spouse is the number of businesses and so forth. So that could get a little interesting. But so stay tuned for that. That'll be a new one. So be on the lookout for that next year. Also, I wanted to mention, and I know that I would probably be involved, but anytime that we're doing work, you know, getting stuff done, we should make sure that we're stipulating the prevailing wages should be paid. I know you guys probably sued his subcontractor that sued the contractor saying that they weren't paid prevailing wages. It was a landscaping contract, and the landscapers on the job said, hey, we were only paid $18 an hour, we should have been paid 41 under the prevailing wage act. And the interesting thing in the case was that the bid documents kind of indicated that if they're applicable. Now, in prevailing wages with landscaping is an issue that it's not always necessarily applicable, except in certain situations. So I could understand why the Park District did that, because I've seen that done, I've done that many times. And the court came down and basically, now the Park District wasn't a party to the case, but the ruling basically said that made the Park District responsible essentially in their dicta, which that could be a big problem for a lot of places, because that, you know, you're talking about the unpaid wages plus penalties, possible, I think, attorney's fees. So just keep that in mind. Even if we're doing changing a door, doing like a PO, where you even put prevailing wages should be paid. It could get down to that small of an item. So just keep it in mind. I thought it was a good case to kind of reference, and it's one of the more significant cases that I've seen come down on this issue.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, that would be pretty difficult for us. I mean, our standard set of vendors, we don't even do POs. Just call them and say, hey, come fix the elevator, or come do that. So
right, there's some unique challenges. I understand it, but you know,
oh, and make sure you're paying prevailing wage. You know, pay the guy to come mow the lawn.
and certainly that would not, Carl, mowing lawn is definitely not. And that's why the cases. I'd say sometimes these decisions kind of, you take a bad facts, and it certainly is, because they were trimming trees, and we've debated this for a number of years. Well, do we have to do prevailing wages? And we've kind of punted on the same thing, said, well, if it's applicable, and let them put the onus on them, and they kind of put it back on the public bodies. So, and again, it was something like a door. Again, if there was a problem with it, probably not that significant. But this one, particularly, this case has been going on for several years. They're entitled to attorney's fees under it. And again, the Park District wasn't made a party to it, so it's going to be the next lucky public body that gets, now the plaintiff's attorneys know they're going to be naming the public bodies on these. So maybe there'll be a change, I don't know, but it's a little too close for comfort, I guess, of the public body. And other than that, like I said, there was some other bills that were passed that, because it doesn't really affect us. I mean, it might affect Lake Forest and Libertyville, but that's it. So it's in a minute.
All right. Moving on to Treasurer's Report. Carl, let's have the floor.
All right, with the balance sheet, we'll see for May 31st, 2021, the checking account was at $248,355.87, reserves at $311,176.37, and petty cash at $112.43, giving us a total cash of $559,644.73. That, you just sort of notice, is much lower than it was a month ago. This month is our lowest point, because we make the first payment like on May 1st, the start of our fiscal year, on the contract, but we've got no tax revenue coming in until about 3/4 of the way through the month. So this is our low point. You're typically going to be more around 650,000. And as far as budget tracking, there is no budget tracking, being as we didn't have a budget until 10 minutes ago. So there will be a budget tracking report next week. I have to enter it all in the QuickBooks, and I don't like doing that until it's actually official. So. Okay, so that is the treasurer's report.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the treasury report as presented.
Second.
Roll call vote, trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Bernstein,
Yes.
trustee Malinowski, yes. Approval of outstanding invoices.
Okay. See on the checks to approve report, North Shore Gas for $386. The Lake Forest Bank for the mortgage, $7,500. City of Lake Forest, it's actually two together because you can't make a payment larger than $125,000. So I made one for $125,000 and then another one for $1,852. I ran into that. It's really nice that I can do this through the Lake Forest, their system, that I can authorize a pull. But I put in the full amount and it came back and said, no, $125,000 is the maximum. I don't think they probably get too many people who do that.
Yeah. Interesting, okay.
Our bank on the other end, this is kind of an FYI, I think it's unlimited to like $20,000 a day is all that I can push out. A written check is one thing, but it's just so much easier to do this electronically.
Sure.
Okay, insurance, our liability insurance was $3,851. Our tax bill was $60. We do actually have one line item on a tax bill that we have to pay, which is for the East Skokie drainage. We did some building maintenance, but we had backflow tests and sprinkler tests, which were all passed, $650. ComEd, $331. Comcast, phone and internet, $186. North Shore Water Reclamation Sewer, $1349. Addison Briss, our legal, $750. And then Denny's Fire Control was to get all of our fire extinguishers in the building up to snuff. They were all expired. They did a real nice job on that, in that they have a program where instead of him taking them all back to the shop and everything, he just exchanges them, and he gave us the same rate. Yeah,
wow.
for that. He said, I'm not going to charge you. You saved me a service call anyway, so.
That's great.
And so I think there was like 10 of them that we just exchanged. And then there was one that's back in the electrical equipment room that was an old CO2, and he said, I'll just leave that here, forget about it. And he said, I'll sell you a new, basically Halon one.
Okay.
That's the best way to go. Don't mess with that CO2 one. So we have a Halon one in there.
Nice.
So yeah, so total on that was $261, which I thought was very, very reasonable. So total outlay for the month was $140,842.96.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget tracking update for
Next line, outstanding invoices.
outstanding invoices for $140,842.96.
I'll second. And roll call vote, trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Bernstein,
Yes.
trustee Malinowski, yes. And then 12, discussion over IGA pricing.
Just
formula.
one more thing. There's also just the Costco.
Oh, the
charge.
Costco charge.
Yeah, because that one wasn't, it was charged, so it's on the Costco, but it's not on the checks to approve because it didn't make it by the end of the month. It's still $600 for the three, the trustee training at the Association of Fire Protection Districts.
So we're gonna approve that next month, or we gotta?
No, that'll show up on the next month.
Next month, okay.
Check, right. And yeah, as you did notice, when I registered you all, I registered you for in person, and I caught it instantly, so
Okay.
I think I forwarded you the email, I contacted
I didn't see
the
anything.
and,
I didn't see anything for login or anything yet.
yeah, I'm surprised, I would think you should be getting instructions on, I'm sure, because they'll be individual ones, because I'm sure they'll have an ID or a special code, because they don't want freeloaders.
Yeah.
So, because I think that's in a couple of weeks.
Isn't it like the 20?
It is the end of next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Thursday and Saturday.
So you've not received anything from them about
Nothing that I've seen yet.
I'll give her a
Chris-
call
Okay.
and just, make sure that Because it's possible that when I did the registration, it's, all electronic kind of thing. If I registered you for the remote, it would have generated that.
Yeah.
And even though she switched it, it may not have caused that to generate. So I will give her a call just to.
Thank you, Carl.
She's very helpful.
Fantastic, I appreciate that. Okay, so now moving on to 12, discussion over the IGA pricing formula. I don't think we have anything yet. I think we're a little bit too busy, so I've reached out to any of the financial
Yeah,
correspondence.
I think it became very clear that their interpretation of the language was what the, how would you say, the key point of it was that 2% was to be a floor. Okay? It clearly states that 4% is a ceiling, and 2% would be a floor. That's, I think, clearly what, the intent. But the interesting thing is that even when you look at the way it's written, the way they interpret it could actually go below 2. But the thing about it, the way they're interpreting it, that I really find problematic, is that it stays the same as the CPI until you hit 2. And as soon as if you go, if the CPI were 1.9, you could, it doesn't just floor at 2, you could have, get an increase as much as 3.5%.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tied to their
Their budgets.
budgets. And I don't think, in our relationship, that's not our concern. It should be kind of fixed. So I would think that going with that concept of, 2 as a floor is, let's just see if they'd be willing to make 2 the floor.
Do you want me to reach out and maybe see if we can set up a meeting again? with them?
Yeah, just
like we did last time?
put that on the table, say, we've got 4, and let's call it 2. If it goes below 2, you'll get 2. Rather than this sort of weird bump that goes back up to 3.5.
Yep, yeah, I agree. Okay. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and reach out to the financial representatives. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, just see if that's,
I'm assuming everybody's okay, all the board members?
Oh,
Good, Chris?
yeah. Chris, you
Chris,
okay
you-
with?
Completely fine, I think that's a good idea to reach out with them early since we're
Yeah, I think it's a really good,
having this conversation, yeah.
and from a mechanical perspective, I know there's a lot of trepidation about, quote, opening the agreement again, but I think, Jim, we talked about that. I would imagine this can just be a simple one-line addendum.
yeah, exactly.
Just
It could be
change
just
this
a one-
to this,
Yeah.
boom, done, nothing more.
some type of addendum that just says the parties recognize, that this section will be clarified to read as follows. Assuming they would agree with it,
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, at least we'll see if we could start that conversation, plant that seed, and see what shakes loose. Any concerns or we doing that? All right, moving on to performance analysis. Chris, I think this was your line item?
Yeah, so I have nothing to report. I will follow up with them to see where we sit with the status and when we can expect a report coming across our desk. So, nothing this moment, but I will get something for next meeting.
Okay, thanks. Going on to 14, discussion action lease sale of Rockland Fire Protection District building. So just really quick, Chris, I think you have something to add to this, but just an update on what I was working on with the county. I gotta double check my calendar, but I think I have something scheduled with them later this week for, or tentatively scheduled pending payment. That's why I asked you, Carl. Maybe we should have done it earlier. They need to get paid whatever, $250 first before they'll confirm the meeting with me to talk about the potential to even rezone the building. So, we just reached out to you, and I think, did we approve, I forgot if we approved that last
you
month.
approved like $500?
Yeah,
we
okay,
approved up to
okay.
500.
Yeah, so that's, so I'll be reaching out to you, I just wanted to confirm. So that's in process, nothing else really to update as far as that goes with the county. That's all I have on my end regarding the building. Chris, I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, so, Lake County Nike reached out to me, expressing interest in occupying the bay floor of the building to store some assets. They currently
think that's, pretty good timing, 'cause I think, Lake Bluff just ended the IGA. Yep. So that's,
Your late month just ended?
yep, well, since last, I think it was just after last meeting?
Yeah, I think what we decided, or, we cut it for exactly a year.
Yes, but we officially got the notice, yeah. So they had the full year, use of the building for the IGA, so that, we do have to do anything to close that up, Jim, officially? We got the email notification. Okay, alright, yeah, so this comes at a good time. Yeah, just keep us up to date, Chris, and we'll just go from there. If we need, timing for them, if they're looking to do something sooner, we can of course schedule a special meeting if need be.
Sounds good. I will relay that on to them if necessary. But, yeah, I have to believe the IGA that we have is like one, that model. So we'll see what they come back and present to us.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, one thing I would mention is that, if they're gonna wanna use the paved floor, the carbon monoxide mitigation system is shut down because it's always in the alarm state, so we would probably want to get that looked at.
Okay.
But if you bring the vehicles in, you definitely want that system working.
Did you catch that, Chris?
I didn't hear anything Carl had said. That was Carl speaking.
So, yeah, so that was Carl. So the carbon monoxide detection in the bay floor has been in a constant alarm state, so it's been turned off.
Okay.
Since they more than likely looking to store vehicles in, that's just something we need to get corrected prior to them taking occupancy.
Gotcha. Okay. That would fall under our building maintenance fund.
Yep.
I'm sure it's not a big deal, it's just that the controller probably needs to be fixed. It's, it kicks the fans on if,
Yeah.
And on the same token, Marshall talked about our building maintenance, that we entered into a contract with the landscaper to provide regular service.
They were supposed to give me a quote. They haven't yet. They're a little slow. But I can start looking at other vendors for landscaping. These are just guys that I use. Full disclosure, they're good, but they're slow to get back to you. But yeah, I'll keep looking into that. Honestly, didn't notice they did the cleanup yet.
Yeah, I think they did.
I think they did the cleanup that we asked them to do. You got the bill yet? It'll take them a while before they remember.
I know it is.
Yeah.
How we get on like every other week schedule, just.
I think we could almost probably do once a month, but
There's so little grass.
yeah.
Last year, I was practically about once a month.
Okay. All right.
You need some buildings too.
Don't tell my wife that. She wants goats. We're not gonna go there, Jim. We're not gonna go there. Moving along, unless there's anything else regarding the use or lease or sale of the building. All right. Moving along to 15, IDOT improvements. Nothing from IDOT. Sent them an email, no response. Don't know what they're doing. I'm sure they're busy now, collecting more gas taxes and trying to figure out what to do with it. So maybe we'll be hearing from them soon. Going on to 16, discussion action, parking lot use and indemnification agreement with Chuck Sharon Inc. I don't think I brought this up at previous meetings. I think it started after the last meeting, right, Jim? We started talking about it. So, Shield 23 Foundation, I don't know if Chris was on the board yet, but I think you remember. Oh, no, I think you were, Chris. Shield 23 Foundation, Ryan Constantino's charity. They're holding an event, not even half a block away at Denelli's, and they're having a what are they calling it?
Tractor run.
Tractor run. Yeah, Norwood Tractor Run. They were asking us to use the parking lot as overflow, since they're going to have their parking lot occupied by tractors, not farm tractors, but lawn tractors. They wanted to have our parking lot and apron used as overflow parking for the patrons for the event. So I went ahead and just started getting an agreement in place so we could talk about getting it approved. We have it signed already by a representative from Chuck Sharon, which is the owner of Denelli's. and we have a signed identification agreement from them. We just need to sign it, approve it in our record. We do have, we are on their insurance.
Yeah, so we did a similar agreement that we did with the
Condominium
association.
association.
Homeowner association.
Yep, so same agreement with them.
So it'll just be one, it'll be June 9th.
Yep, June 19th.
Okay.
This weekend? This Saturday.
So I think I terminated at, I don't know.
3 a.m. on
3
Sunday.
a.m. on,
Yeah.
on Sunday.
No, 3 a.m. Sunday is
Saturday.
terminated, so Saturday to 3
Okay.
a.m. Sunday, right? So any comments or questions on that, Chris? Are you okay with it?
It seems like a neighborly thing to do as long as we're protected from a liability standpoint. I see no reason to, as long as it's not like a party in the parking lot. It's just
No.
no parking.
Yeah, just parking, same agreement as we did with the condominium association.
Perfect. As long as we're covered on liability, I'm just good with it. I'm good with it.
Yeah, my one concern was that I really didn't want them trailering, bringing the lawn tractors in on a trailer, unloading in here and driving them from here over.
Yeah, I think the tractor staging is on Clover.
That was the one thing, because give, liability coverage for automobiles in the parking lot's easy. But for people running around on lawnmowers, I think our insurance will be a little bit leery of that.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's.
I mean, we
from
may
what I've
want to
been told,
put up a
that's
sign too, I mean, if it's easy enough, I'll put up a sign.
No lawn tractors. You want to throw something together and like.
I'm not that creative.
So okay, so if we're good with that, do we gotta make a motion or anything, Jim?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the parking lot use of an indemnification agreement with Chuck Sharon Inc. For use of the building's parking lot and apron for overflow parking this Saturday, June 19th, terminating at 3 a.m. on Sunday morning.
For passenger vehicles only.
For passenger vehicles only.
Second.
All right, so I made the motion, Amy seconded. Roll call or voice, Jim? All right, Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Bernstein,
Yes.
Trustee Malinowski, yes. All right, and item 17, other items as may be lawfully brought before the board. You got anything else to talk about, Chris?
No, I do not.
Amy? Jim?
I forgot, I should have brought this up. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, and this is the reason why we did the budget today. In the weekend of, what is it, the 4th?
Yeah.
Coming up, that, I think the 4th is on Sunday, on Saturday, or not, that Monday, I am going to Arizona, which is a lovely time to go, July. But my daughter has an Irish dance competition there, and so that's why we're going. And now, we are heading back Monday, which is your meeting day. And we are flying,
Right?
yeah, we are flying back that day. So I don't know if I'm would be able to make that Monday meeting. So I was wondering if you might consider rescheduling it.
Carl, is there anything we need to do on the 12th, Carl?
And some places cancel, and I've got a number of places that cancel.
Is there anything we need to do in July?
nope, because we did the budget in June.
Yep.
We are clear in July from the financial stuff for the next, the reports for the third quarters.
Is there anything we need to do on your end in July?
No, this was the big one.
Okay, so with that being said, Chris, unless you have anything that we need to get together with regarding NIPUS or the building, or if I have anything else that we need, or if you have anything else, I would just propose we cancel the meeting for July,
Okay. And meet August.
and then meet at our regular scheduled meeting in August.
Okay. If something comes up, we can always work on doing a special
Yes.
meeting. If
Yes,
something absolutely pressing.
yes, like if someone from, a government agency wants to use the building.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to cancel the July 12th meeting, and then resume our regular scheduled meeting August 16th.
Second.
All right, roll call, Jim, or voice? say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? All right. Anything else?
Amy, could you put a notice out, just like if you ever seen, I could send you one, just to put it on the floor, like, yeah, so.
Yeah, you want me to do it like 40 hours before, like,
Oh, you could
Do
do
this
it,
week
yeah.
or whatever.
well, that's fine, whatever you
Yeah.
want, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, did someone notify Nikki on the website?
Yeah,
The
I'll
website?
do that.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Chris?
No, I'm all good.
Amy, anything else?
Until it's Chief Picasso, I missed him in Lake Zurich, but I saw his guys.
Awesome.
You got the message. All right. With there being nothing else, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn our meeting at 6:46 p.m.
Second.
All right. And all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.